I had to unmute the mic. Hi, people. Phil here. Let's get rid of that thing. So I didn't have my normal intro. The reason I didn't have my normal intro is that I'm not at home. You can tell I'm not at home in our lovely studio. I'm actually at Mix Mash Records in Amsterdam. So that's why I'm not with all the usual backdrops and stuff. And also, there's people around. I'm in their canteen. I've broken away. I'm doing some work here, so I'm in their canteen. So if people come in and out, I'm sorry about that. So welcome. It's Tuesday Tips Live with me, Phil.
Hey, so Phil, did you want your underwear washed or?
Luke, I did say I'm live, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
and I don't like washing my underwear in public. God, you can't get the
Sorry about
staff
that.
these days. You can't get the staff these days. Sorry, dude. I'll talk to you afterwards. Anyway, as I was saying, Tuesday Tips Live, and there are people around, so sorry if we get interrupted by the good and great. We are live today, and we're talking about whether you should learn one genre of music and master it, or whether you should just be someone who plays everything. And so I'll go through some tips and then we'll hear what you think. I want to know whether you play one genre, whether you play two or whatever, and we'll share your thoughts and comments as well. But firstly, hello to everyone who's arriving now. Lots and lots of people here, and lots of people already with comments. Ross is saying, I'm a jack of all trades, and a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. And that's true. That is the full quote. So if you've ever heard the quote, a jack of all trades, but a master of none, they often miss out that last bit that Ross is sharing with us. Oftentimes, that's better than a master of one. So that's what we're talking about today. Which is best in DJing? Lots of genres or just one genre? And we'll debate it in just a second after I've got a few more hellos out the way, because, hey, this is a show. Welcome if you're on YouTube or Twitch, by the way, and our Mixcloud people as well. Lots of you asking for advice on things which aren't this subject. So if that's you, come on Thursday, and that's when we'll cover that for you on our Thursday Q&A live. Hello to Jason, hi to Paul, and to Pete, and to Mason, who wants CDJ advice again Thursday for stuff like that. We'll help you there. Hi to DJ Lady Beats. Good to have so many regulars here today. All right, let's get talking about it. What should you be doing, especially as a new DJ? Trying to master one genre or the lot? So, really, as a new DJ, you should take all the gigs that you can get. If they make you feel uncomfortable, all the better, because guess what? All gigs are going to make you feel uncomfortable when you're a new DJ. So really, if 10% of you wants to do that gig, give it a go, whatever the genre is. Try and find the music and try and do the best job of it. It's part of the rite of passage of DJing to play all different types of gigs. And nobody's watching you really anyway. Nobody knows who you are. You can't mess up your reputation by playing a really bad disco set when you're meant to be a house DJ, or taking an indie gig playing between bands. You know, no one's going to care because they don't know who you are. There might never be another time when you get a chance to do that. And so a lot of DJs I've worked with who are famous, and I wish I could play a different genre, but I'm known for this one. So this is your time to do what you want. And if you do pigeonhole yourself as a DJ from early on, the problem is that the genre that you've fallen in love with might not last, right? Because it's your first foray into the lovely world of dance music and so on. And you might have fallen in love with a genre that's going to have a shelf life of one summer. And you don't want to be pigeonholed like that. So certainly as a new DJ, I would say it really is important for you to spread your wings and try everything. Don't worry about what genre to start with or what genres you play. Because guess what? This stuff happens naturally. And it happens naturally as you DJ more and more. So if you're an established DJ, what you tend to find is over time, a style will emerge. There's certain things you like, certain things you don't like. And across different genres, you'll start to piece together this thing that's starting to become you. But that takes time. And you probably end up being loosely aligned to one genre or another, but not in a way that's limiting and pigeonholing. And you're able to swap and change and people still know it's you. It's a great place to be in DJing. And there are some times when I think you have to be careful with this, though. So let's just run through a couple of them. The first one is if you want to be an event DJ, so like a wedding DJ, but you also want to be a DJ producer, an underground style DJ, well, look, that's fine, but consider keeping those personas separate, because you're going to confuse the people who book you for weddings and for bar mitzvahs and so on if you're also this character who plays kind of pretty banging underground tunes and does a bit of production and remixing and so on the side, right? So it's quite often a good idea to keep those personas separate. Some DJs like to have a company name for their event company, for their weddings and so on, and then a cool DJ name for the stuff they do on the side. And normally it's love and money, right? The wedding stuff pays the bills, and the undergroundy stuff is where the love is. Obviously, I've simplified a bit there. But so that's one time when you might want to think, yes, it's all right to play different genres and to be a master of both weddings and undergroundy, but keep them separate. Another thing you might want to do, even if you are a DJ who's known for your mixing, who's known for playing proper cool venues and so on, and doing that only that thing, you haven't got another business or another wedding side of what you do. Even that kind of DJ sometimes has alter egos. So you've got Eric Prydz with his Ceres D, kind of more underground alter ego, Roger Sanchez with S-Man. That's okay as well. And a lot of producers do this. So you see producers making music in all different genres, and they'll have a different name for the different kinds of productions. That's okay. So maybe you'd want to consider doing that as well. If you've been doing this for a while and you're established, but you have got a couple of sounds that you're good at. If you do pigeonhole yourself and you have to change your sound, that can be traumatic. So a few examples from history. Luke, who just interrupted our broadcast there, he had to change from techno to EDM a decade ago now, maybe longer. And he said he had to reset himself in order to do that and start again from scratch. Carl Cox, back in the day, when he had to change from playing hardcore to playing techno. Again, that was a big reset for Carl at the beginning of the 90s. Scream, more recently, who was a well-known dubstep DJ in the UK, for those who are outside the UK or don't know him, went from playing dubstep, what happened to dubstep? Talk about pigeonholing yourself in a genre that's not going to last, to playing garage and then playing more kind of new disco. So in his instance, he went from dubstep to what could loosely be termed house genres. Garage, disco, house, new disco house, they're all quite similar. So I think the best practice here, if you're grappling with this question, do I become a master of one genre or a jack of them all, is if you want to stick to one genre and one genre only, house is probably a good bet, because house has lots of such subgenres and there's no need to specialize in one particular one. House has endured, it's popular. If you're a hobby DJ, look, you've got the benefit of being able to do what you want. As I said, many big name DJs are killed for that, so enjoy it. Don't worry too much about pigeonholing yourself. We had a conversation about this over on our Facebook group on Global DJ Network, and someone said very astutely, I thought, maybe it's better to be a jack of all trades, but a master of some. So let's convert that into our headline. Maybe it's better to be a jack of all genres, but a master of some. Maybe have one or two that you really like. And so in my case, for instance, I've always played club music, some pretty pumping main room stuff, but I've always had a love for what they call Balearic music, which is named after Ibiza, which is one of the Balearic Islands, which is kind of down-tempo stuff, down-tempo funk and reggae and down-tempo disco and that kind of more chilled out vibe. And, they've been roughly my two genres, kind of the club stuff and that kind of chill out stuff. And as my life's gone on, they've waned. One of them's waned and one of them's gone up. And that's great. And I'm glad I've always had them both. So maybe being a jack of all trades or a jack of all genres and a master of some, maybe a couple, maybe two or three might be the best bet. Okay, people, we are going to get your comments now about this. How is it for you? Do you play only one genre? Do you try and do a bit of everything? Are you struggling with it? Do you confuse people? Let me know. And I'm going to pull up some of the best comments on screen about that. So Drew says something really worthy here. A mobile DJ should be a jack of multiple genres. It's very true. If you're a mobile DJ, that kind of implies you have to know how to play lots of different kinds of music. So thank you very much for that. The next comment that is jumping out for me here is Jack. So Jack seems to be an example of what we said at the end there. Jack says, I've been around a while. I have a couple of specialties, but I can get by in just about anything, which is exactly what we said there, Jack. So it looks like you're doing exactly what we're kind of advising. Brian says, I'm two styles of music. So thanks for that, Brian. Dennis, it's always good to have you here, Dennis. Not seen you for a while. It's better to be a master of making the crowd happy, regardless of what they want to hear. Wow, so this is purist stuff. Regardless of what they want to hear, you're going to make them happy. So I thank you for that. Lots of you are just commenting on the news today that virtual DJ is finally working in most of the Den and DJ Prime gear. We'll talk about that probably more on Thursday when we have the open house. More mobile DJs saying the same thing. I'm a wedding or corporate DJ, says Sherwin, so I play all styles. That's a very good point to make. DJ Lady Beats, I think you can be a master of one or two and be okay with the others in order to make everyone happy. Yeah, so you're kind of agreeing with me here. Love a couple of genres, work hard at a couple, but certainly be able to play more. So thank you for kind of firing this back at me, kind of agreeing with what we're saying. Mel says, I play multiple genres in clubs and bars. It pays more regular, just probably I won't get famous doing it. Well, you and me both, Mel. So DJ D Robert, as a mobile DJ, I have no choice but to play lots of genres. Mo says, it depends on what kind of DJing you want to be or you want to do. I mainly do sporting events, American football and CrossFit, and corporate events. But when I play out, I spin house. Also, this is my hobby, not a job. So there we go. There's that kind of playing out to play house and doing the kind of stuff that's expected of you when you're booked as a DJ, when you're booked as an event DJ. Ronald says you can hone your blade to the finest point, but without considering how you'll use that blade, you will not be able to adapt. That is just advice for life, Ronald. That's all I can say to you. Thank you for sharing that. Pete says, my sets are never just one genre. I find one genre is boring. And that's the way a lot of people have gone nowadays, haven't they, with this open format idea that you should get good at being able to spin anything. My Vids is saying, actually, it's a good idea to learn to be able to talk on the mic and be yourself. Well, that's true. Hello, Queso, who says, what am I missing? What have I missed? You haven't missed too much, Queso. Just got interrupted by Laidback Luke trying to hijack my live stream. But apart from that, you haven't missed very much. DJ Chris, good day, Phil. I'm a jack of all trades. I give to more creative mixing and more crowd pleasing, but respect to those who are a master of one. There's always something to learn from those as well. Rob says, personally, the reason I DJ house is because it's such a diverse sound. You can go from chill to peak time tunes with the same set, and that's why I love it so much. So you're kind of agreeing with me there, Rob, aren't you, that house is a wonderful genre. If you're going to specialize in one, specialize in house, because it can be your friend for life in a way that some genres wouldn't be. Joe Quinn says, I've been playing 70s, 80s and 90s for over 15 years, and I noticed that these genres still have good acceptance. You know, a funny thing about music that we've noticed over the decades is the older music never seems to go out of fashion. It just gets added to by newer music. So mobile DJs 30 years ago were playing 50s, 60s and 70s music. Mobile DJs now are playing 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, noughties and 10s and now music, right? It's like the old stuff doesn't go away. I think it's a really good point to make there. Thank you for sharing that. Abby says, I love Phil being more composed and relaxed on this stream. I hope you're having fun in Amsterdam. We are having fun in Amsterdam. Thank you for asking. It's just good to get out. Good to get out, crawl under the lockdown and go somewhere, to be honest. DJ Chris says, we've already shared that one. Thank you for that one, Chris. I'm going to throw one or two more up because I've got to get back to work here. I'm not here to just play people. I'm here to do some stuff. So chuck a couple more comments up. Join me on Thursday when we'll be carrying on the conversation in a more open way, when we'll be answering a lot of these questions that are unrelated. So come back on Thursday if you've got those. Jason says, breaks are my jam, but I try and play out with everything. Busy Bee, I'm open format, and I do play everything. Someone on our Facebook page says, it bothers me how many genres there are these days. Yeah, don't get too hooked up on genres. Just collect what you like, and the genre will take care of themselves. Donald, I'm an old school DJ. It works for me, soul and hip hop. So good to hear that. And of course, as hobby DJs, we get the benefit of being able to play what the hell we want and do what the hell we want. I'm going to leave that there, people. So thank you very much for joining us today for a slightly shorter Tuesday Tips Live, where we've talked about genres and we've talked about whether you should play one genre or whether you should try and specialize, try and do more than just one. And we think that being a jack of a couple of genres, or rather a jack of all genres, but a master of a couple might be the way to go here. So I'll see you again on Thursday. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Get good, get out there, make the moments. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.